Hello everyone, welcome to Accelerate Your Life channel. So on tonight's video, we're Monday, market Mondays. So another episode of kind of going over the markets, Forex and cryptocurrency. And then since we had a big drop in the S&P 500 last week, so I'm going to also cover that one. So yeah, so if you're new to the channel, again, on this channel, we talk about making money online through, it could be affiliate marketing, network marketing, and then I also like to inject a lot of cryptocurrencies. I think that's the future when it comes to even marketing, even to exchanging our money and stuff. So I think it's certainly something that applies to, making money online. I think it's just the beginning, and I think way more will be down the road. So I think if everyone can be, can get familiar with the cryptocurrencies, because even a lot of companies in the network marketing and affiliate marketing also pays in cryptocurrencies as well. So if you know a little bit more, you know how to manage it, you know how to manage your wallets and so on, and then know a little bit how it works on the exchanges, wallets, where to get it, what to do with it. So certainly something I want you to know. All right, so let's go, and I'll share my screen right now. Perfect. So what you see on the screen is so now the market. So let's look at I'm going to cover all these here. So it's my YouTube setups. So I just picked this here, and I'm going to discuss about these, and then I'm also going to go over to Poloni Dex as well to go over a couple pairs, mostly in the TRX TRON ecosystem. All right, so let's look at, the S&P 500. So last week, oh my God, coronavirus, everything's dropping like crazy, right? So that's what we saw, right? So indeed, it was quite a big drop. And then also we see a bit more gaps in the stock markets. One of the reasons is probably because it's closing and opening every day, right? So that's one of the reasons. But it's it was quite the drop. Like if we look at this chart, it's all daily candles, and we're all fairly small, steady growth, some at a loss, but then kind of going on the upward direction, and then now boom, big gap to the way down, another one, boom, another one, and then even if this one is the bullish one, it still reached a low level of about 28.55, right? So it's something to keep in mind. But then again, it's not familiar with what we've seen. So we've seen touches in that area before, right? So now I just want to take you to the bigger picture. If we look at that last movement from this drop here, it was in December 2018. It went down to 2400. So now I just drew a Fibonacci level. So from this bottom to this top, and then the price came back down to the 50, which is a really strong level. So a lot of retracement happened within this the 50 or the 618 or the 0.5 and 618. So we call the 50%, 61, 20% retracement. There's a lot of stuff happening in that usually, and it came down to that again as a surprise, right? So I don't know if you've been trading, but start looking at that. I have other examples as well in the market as we go, right? So look at that. Not even though it might be coronavirus, there's still elements in the markets that at some point it was bound to do that too, right? So a correction, and it's a correction from that big movement, because it's been pretty much going fairly steady growth up there, and then what? Oh, it comes back down to the 50%. Oh, what a surprise, right? So start seeing those patterns as well, and it might not just be coronavirus, even though people pretend that that's all that is. Okay. So this one, I was looking at the DXY US dollar currency index, because it went up straight, right, and then it's straight back down. So that's really what happened with strong movement to the upside. It's going to be strong movement again to the downside. So it's so if we look at these ones, it's daily candles. So over the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So over pretty much the last week and a bit, it went down. So that's what I was anticipating around that area, because I drew that zone. It went a little bit past, and usually it goes past because people might put their entry orders too close, and it's the market, right? So they like to extend it a little bit more to get stop losses and all that, right? So that's part of it. So USD CAD. So so when I'm trading Forex, so I recently discovered a nice method using the Fibonacci levels, and I'm trading based on the kind of overextension of those impulse, right? So if we look at usually a market might be, look at this one, right? So it's kind of a nice 1, 2, 3 ABC, whatever you want to call it. So it's a nice, impulse, retracement, impulse, right? So I'm going to trade the actual extension of this last leg, right? So that's what I did. So I had pending orders waiting up here for like a sell limit in this case, and then boom, the market went right back down, right? So it's orders that I put ahead of time, so I don't need to be, involved in the trading. Okay, is it going to go down? Is it going to go up? It's pending orders that I put in there. Sometimes they don't even get hit because I'm always going to like overextension of those movements, and so it proves to be like fairly efficient. So if you'd like to know more about that, just give me a shout. We'll discuss. But it's certainly a method that's been working well. I haven't been training that one a whole lot, but I think I'm gonna keep looking over at this one quite a bit because it works pretty well. So from what I've seen, I think I've seen a couple pairs, going against me a little bit, but eventually like they go right back down. And then to note on this one, I'm only going for a few pips, right? So I'm only going for a few of them. So within minutes they can be triggered, and also they can close as well within pretty much minutes. It might take a bit longer, so it plays with your nerves a little bit, but I mean, you don't need to look at it. I'm usually putting those levels on the daily chart, so you don't need to look at it 16 times during the day. As much as you'd like to trade and affect the market while your entry orders with like your $1,000 account, it's not going to matter too much in the Forex, right? So just let it go. There's nothing you can do, right? So same thing with the S&P 500, right? So was there anyone that could stop that, like with your little like $25,000 account? Like no, like you can't stop that. We're talking like millions and trillions of dollars on those exchanges. So you just watch it, and So example of a strong movement to the upside on the daily. So if you're tempted to buy the euro dollar right now, so you might have missed the boat, right? So it's one of those examples where when it goes, just let it go. And even if it keeps going to the moon or whatever, just wait for that retracement, because it's poor time, right? It could drop at any time, really, from this perspective, right? And then we might have caught a nice level at, up here, right? If we look at this, if we look at other touches before, right, around this area, so it's a fairly strong level that it was reversal. So now I would wait. So now again with the Fibonacci level. So now from the bottom to the top, so 1 to 0, and then now I might be looking into this area for potential retracement, right? It might not. I mean, in some cases, sometimes it just retraces a little bit between these two and then keep going up. You'll see that. But just a matter of fact, at this point now, I would wait. It went past this. It just blew right through this moving averages on the daily. It blew through this one. So now I think there might be a little correction on this one. So it's a typical example of that one. You might want to buy it, but I think you missed a lot of, you missed the boat around here, right? So just wait out on this one and then wait for the retracement. Then, look at what it's looking at and then go for it at that point. I'm not, like I said, an expert. And again, I'll mention it because I forgot to mention it. I'm not a financial advisor again, but I've just been observing the markets for over like almost 2 years now. So, just tendencies that keep reoccurring, right? So just be keep note of them, and observe that. But it's clearly a move that, okay, you missed it. Good. And it's fine. Like there's other market swings that will happen, right? So there's no need to freak out that you missed it. So now if we look at this one, Bitcoin, so look at the bottom here. So I drew my Fibo from this to up here, and then, look at where it's at again, the 50, right? So I was debating, sometimes there's debates of where you should actually put your Fibo levels, but it comes down to like, okay, it's in this area again, right? So, and again with that 200 EMA that I have, the pink one there, so it's been holding pretty much, so it's holding in that area. We'll see what happens. Hopefully it doesn't do like let's wait to see if, because it's, I don't know if it's looking for like a bearish flag forming, but because like you see clearly here what I'm talking about, the flags here. Let's see if I can go the brush, so yeah, so clearly like get out of there. And then kind of a bearish flag here, and then you see this way, but it might, if it draws this way, it goes up a little bit without much movement, then it might continue down. So we'll see, but it's a nice kind of retracement from that movement, so I wouldn't panic. I think there's still a lot of momentum to the upside on this one, but let's have a look, see what happens. Let's look at this one here. So from time to time, I actually do research on other cryptocurrencies. So it happened this week that I watched a couple videos on Dash, and not knowing anything about that really. I've heard that it was like a privacy one, but after like digging a bit more into it, it's not the first purpose of it. It's kind of they claim to be like a upgraded version of Bitcoin because of the 3-tier like security, where they give 45% to like I think the miners, and then 45% to the master nodes, and then 10% goes into like a governance pool where they can invest money, and then anyone in the project can actually like get money from. So anyway, I was reading and watching videos about that. I find it quite interesting. So I was just looking at the market to see where the price was at for that particular cryptocurrency. So Dash, again, I drew the same level again from this last impulse to the upside, went up to 145 to retrace. Now oh no, again for the 15 to the 618. Oh no, once more, right? So I'm telling you, there's a lot of tendency that it comes back to that, right? So just observe that. Like it keeps, like I just took like a few minutes to observe that, right? So if, let's say in that case, you're looking to buy again, well, you might be wrong, but again, if you're buying in that area, like it's a pretty good area, you know what I mean? Like you might be wrong, because the market's going to do what it wants to do, but at least you're better off than buying up here, right? You know what I mean? Because you understand that a bit better. You understand that it kind of went up and it might be a little downside, so you're looking at that level from this first impulse, right? So now it might be a better option, I think. So if you lose that one by trading from this location, going on the upside, well, at least I think you understand a little bit more like the markets, right? So the impulse, the correction, and then the potential another impulse, right? So that's just what I wanted to say. But again, make sure you ask your bank manager about trading, see how that goes. Just being sarcastic, because I don't think I would trust them with that. So all right, so let's look at let's go over to the Poloni Dex. So BTT versus TRX, so BitTorrent token, so that one is 0.022 TRX. So it's been pretty stable. It went down really over the last couple weeks from what we see here, but nothing major. I think if we look at the bigger aspect, I think it's been going down for a while. I think initially when I purchased a bunch of them, I should have sold at the top maybe, but anyway, I'm holding because I found the project interesting and so on. So let's wait and see. So Wink, TRX. Oops. Let's zoom out a little bit because it's so that one is worth worth a whole lot either. So 0.00567. So it's been I guess on the daily it went up a few days ago, and then it kind of stayed steady at this level. So so that again, if we look at the bigger picture from where it was at before, there we go. So again, not a bad option. Again, if you like the project and you'd like to buy, I mean, it's better buying there than up top here, you know what I mean? Like if you look at the chart only. And yes, on the last upswing, it was looking good for TRX USDT, and then it kind of came back down to what here it was, yeah, it was like 1.615, yeah, so 1.5 cents or whatever. So yeah, still under 2 cents at the moment. So it went up above that, but then retraced way back down, same as we saw in the Bitcoin movement. And then my latest one I wanted to cover was there we go, Bitcoin. So I like this project a lot, so I will talk about it every week. So Bitcoin, again, from the utility token from the vibravid.io platform. Yeah, there was a little debate on the Telegram this week over this one. I think this particular candle, I think it was, going from like 0.0178 to down to like the lowest of 0.013. So it's tough to actually keep talking trading with those 0.016 and stuff. It's probably a better way of saying it, but anyway. So it seems from this bottom, it probably caught a lot of buyers. I think it's still looking promising on that. And then again, if we look at the bigger picture, it's let's look at the weekly then. Boom. I think from what it came out and all the way up there, I think it's a pretty good area. Again, if you want to invest in a project, I think it's a really good spot. Again, can it go lower? Yes. Like it's trading, you never know like the floor of anything, but I think it's got a nice floor around this level. Nice for the project to go. A lot more stuff coming out on the platforms coming up this quarter. So I think it's looking promising. A lot more people will get into it, and then you never know when it starts going. Then you might lose the might not catch it, right? So you might lose the boat on this one, right? So just look at it from a perspective. If it's a project that you like, do your due diligence, look into it, find that it's a nice platform. I like it, and then this video will be on this platform as well, same as YouTube. But I like this one a lot. So it's a nice project that I want to keep talking about. So yeah, I think it recovered nicely from that little drop that happened this week. If you want to know more about it, there was a discussion about it on Telegram, so I'm not going to go into details about that. So that's pretty much it for this week. Let's close that here. Alright, so that's pretty much it for this week. So hopefully you liked it. I think on this one we really saw the importance of like the Fibo levels. I saw it anyway in one trade that I did with USD CAD. So nice levels, reached that, the sell limit, and then I took profit on those ones. And it's not big trades, I just want to go for the high efficiency. High return, you're going to lose sometimes, but I mean, in this case, I think it works well. I've seen it over a long period, and then again, you see where those prices were with the Bitcoin, Dash, even that nice impulse and a retracement in that 50 or 0.5 or 618 level. So yeah, it's a nice area to look at, and again, hopefully you got some value out of this. Again, if you'd like, if you have any comments or any suggestion for any thing we can go over, let me know. I can certainly take comments. Again, I'm not a professional trader. I'm just sharing what I like doing, my passion, and then hope you can, if you have tricks and advice, send it my way. I'd be more appreciate that. And if you'd like to share and comment about anything, just go ahead and do that. So thanks again for watching. So make sure you subscribe to the channel, share it with your friends if you find this value, and hopefully we'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.